Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'd say unfortunately, everything is kind of going according to plan with the intensification of Ian. Overnight, crossed over western Cuba. Today, it's a strong Cat 3. Winds are up to 120 miles per hour. You notice the eye wall here kind of shrinking a little bit over the last few scans, and that is a sign of typically an eye wall replacement cycle. So over the next few hours, intensity will probably kind of sit where it is and then may get some further intensification as that eye wall really starts to reform. We'll see how that plays out. Everything kind of plays a role at this point as far as up and down intensity-wise, and certainly any little shift in its motion. We put this white line here to just give you an idea of due north motion right now. There's certainly little wobbles here and there, but what we'll look for is at what point this really starts to deviate and move a little more east of due north. That, of course, is going to dictate landfall point down the road. I know it sounds like crazy that just a little bit of a bump all of a sudden means it's hitting here versus here. You know, that all is going to be key as we lead up to landfall at some point on Wednesday evening. We're now getting hourly advisories, at least updating position and intensity fixes. We'll get a new track with the 5 o'clock advisory. For now, winds are at 120. Motion is still due north. Pressure's down to 952. As the pressure falls, it always takes a little bit for the wind speed to catch up. So undoubtedly, I think this at some point late tonight or early Wednesday will become a Cat 4. The track is still not completely set in stone. There's a cone here for a reason. Much smaller cone than we had a couple of days ago, but it's there for a reason because still this kind of thing still possible, and that's going to play a big role with surge especially. Paul's been talking about that so far the last 30 minutes or so. We'll continue to harp on that because, again, a landfall point here puts 8 to 12 feet of surge into most of Sarasota County and not much at all around Tampa Bay, maybe a couple of feet. It's all about that exact landfall point. So you kind of take these numbers with a grain of salt. Count on the winds for sure. I'd say even 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts for Tampa Bay southward near the coastline. Highest surge, again, will be south of the bay if the track sticks like it is now. Gusts a little bit less if you're further north, but still nothing to scoff at. Over 60 miles per hour, 60 to 80, I'd say. Very little surge along the Nature Coast. A lot of heavy rain. Flooding rain is going to be an issue with this. Some spots could easily see close to 2 feet of rain in a couple localized spots, and that is going to be a big-time problem. Tornado threat, always a problem in tornadoes as well. We'll talk more about these impacts and, of course, that 5 o'clock update coming up in about 30 minutes or so. Guys.